A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the fuck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo time.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and are having a wonderful Tuesday. Tonight's going to be a very short stream. I was actually planning on having a little bit more for us to take a look at besides the main event. I wanted to play some Elden Ring while watching this one, but unfortunately Elden Ring is crashing on me again, reminding me that I should have gotten the PS5 version. So tonight, we're just going to take a look at this video that was dropped by Code Blue Cam. Shout out to them. I put a link to their video in the description of this video. It's supposedly a pretty wild one. I have not seen this at all. So we're going to take a look and see what happens with this guy and how he finds himself committing allegedly several felonies by the end of the night. So I want to say hi to all of you guys. See you all in the chat. Thank you very much for sticking with me. And without any further delay, let's take a look. Right. Tonight's beer is more Einstock. I'm turning into a fan of Icelandic beer. It's pretty good. Let's go.
On January 22nd, 2022, police were notified of a subject passed out in a running vehicle in Oak Creek, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Upon approach, the officers observed the driver hunched over and noticed an open bottle of liquor in the car.
Oh.
The driver was later identified as 30-year-old Keith Norrington.
Oh my God. He is out. Yeah, good point, Taylor. I'll be reaching out to my parents tonight. Stay safe, all you people in the deep south. That sounds like the weather's going to be pretty nasty going into tonight and tomorrow.
Breathing.
You too, Deacon.
It's running. It's got an open container in the map pocket in the door. Not yet. It's got his pant leg cut open. I already ran it. I ran it.
Officers began banging on the windows of the vehicle in an attempt to wake and make contact with the driver.
Slouch over like that, you are just, yeah, you are out.
I don't know.
Hey, Bev.
After banging on the windows for almost a minute, Keith began moving his head and sat up in the seat. After he realized it was the police, he raised up his phone from his lap and acted as if he was on it the entire time.
that kind of logic right there.
Hi there. Hi. Need to talk to you.
28, put me on
Hi
it.
there.
LMD.
Sergeant Luchins, Oak Creek Police. What's going on, man?
Hey, hold on, man. I'm waiting on that.
Oh my fucking
Here,
god.
pet.
Bruh.
Hey, the officer needs to talk to you, okay?
Yeah, I know. She's waiting in business.
You were zonked out pretty good. Are you okay? Okay. We came here to check on you.
Alright, yeah, I'm here, bro.
You're here?
Yeah,
Okay. That's good that you're here. Do you have your ID?
yeah, man.
All right.
It's fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
here, bro.
did you just say he's drunk as fuck?
You're here?
Yeah,
Okay. That's good that you're here. Do you have your ID?
yeah, man.
All right.
It's fuck.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think he said that. But he's
are you doing
completely...
Shit, waiting on my cousin, man.
Okay. Do you live here or
Yeah, man. I'm right here. I come here all the time.
which apartment you live in?
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
My cousin. Y'all good?
I just need your ID.
Hey,
How
man.
long you been sitting here for?
At least for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, your ID's towards the bottom.
No, I got it, man.
I saw it.
No, I got
that's
it,
not
man.
it.
Like, I ain't
It's
tripping.
in that
No,
stack
it's
though.
right here. Literally. It's right here.
Literally.
Right here.
Literally.
Right there.
Excellent.
Right.
Can I see it, please?
Yeah, like, no, I'm
Thanks.
good. I brought her out. I brought myself out here to check on my lady, man. Like, straight up. I ain't on no
45
bullshit or
minutes.
none of that, man. Like, straight up.
After running a check on his record, they discovered Keith had a suspended driver's license, an OWI arrest from 2012, and prior drug arrests.
Bullshit. Can I have my ID back?
Have you had any alcohol, drugs, or other medications
No,
tonight?
that's it, man. That's
No
it.
drinking?
That's it. No.
Okay. What about the bottle of Tito's in your door?
Literally.
Officer stated
Literally. How about the open container next to you? Oh my god.
he had red and glassy eyes, slurred speech, and poor motor functions.
All right, I'm gonna throw it out here that the body cam footage is corroborating the officer's testimony and the officer's incident report here. I don't think even the DUI guy is going to be able to impeach the officer's report based on the body cam footage.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
Have you had anything to drink tonight?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Can we do some tests to make sure you're safe to drive?
Oh, like, literally. Look, officer. You want to give you my ID?
He said literally at least 4 times now.
I'm gonna put it in the light, sir.
Keith, I have your ID. Right.
Keith, we have your ID
He had
already.
red and glassy eyes, slurred
All
speech,
right, hold on.
and poor motor
I gotta
functions.
hear that again.
Got nothing to hide.
Have you had anything to drink tonight?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Can we do some tests to make sure you're safe to drive?
Oh, like, literally. Look, officer. You want to give you my ID? I'm going to put it in the light.
Don't leave.
I'm going to put it in the light, sir.
Keith, I have your ID. Right.
But I'm going to give you both of them.
What's this one for?
Both of them.
Okay.
I don't have nothing to hide.
Okay.
Yes,
Pull it out here.
2 IDs?
Freeze. I'm not on no bullshit, officer.
Maybe student ID? I don't know.
Literally. My lady live upstairs.
After
Literally.
noting Keith's demeanor and the possibility for non-compliance, the officer suggested they get stop sticks and place them at the rear passenger tire.
Respect you, officer.
Okay, I respect you too, man.
No bullshit.
Okay.
My lady called me over here and she got dropped off by some individual who I don't know, officer. You feel me?
Okay.
So I came out of my household to protect her.
Okay.
You feel me?
Eventually,
What?
officers asked Keith to step out of the vehicle. He refused.
Yeah, Aaron, I noticed that too. He first said that he was there waiting for his cousin, and then now he says he's waiting for his lady friend or something. Look, he's shithouse, all right.
And it was apparent that he was attempting to delay exiting his vehicle.
Like
Well,
literally.
first let's do some tests to make sure you're safe to drive. Okay.
Officer, I'm out of my car. Like,
No, you're in your car.
No,
I need you to step out, please.
I'm out of my car when I step out, officer.
Yeah, I know you're out.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do.
Like, can you walk me in my house? Like, I'm not drunk or none of that.
Okay, that's fine then. Let's do some tests and make sure that you're safe to drive.
Okay?
Can you step out, please? All right.
And for those who may be wondering, the fact that the car is running means that he is driving. So, and I believe even in some states, if you have the keys, even if the car's off, but you have the keys in the ignition, that might still be enough for a DUI. I'm not sure about that, but I do know that if the car is actually running, even if it's in park at a parking lot, if you're shithoused or passed out, you can still get a DUI.
No, why don't we'll do that in a minute. Let's do the test first. Come on out now.
I'm saying, like, officer, seriously, officer. And I'll make sure my lady is coming down. Because I've been sitting here.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, wow.
Call her in a minute. Let's just to make sure you're okay.
Officer, I'm okay. Okay,
Keith.
I'm about to step out
Keith.
the car.
Come on out.
I'm about to step out the car. Now make sure my lady comes outside.
We'll call her in a minute, Keith.
Can you call her, officer?
We'll call her in a minute. Yeah, I will. Definitely. Come on out, though.
Like, and I'm only starting my car to heat up. I've been sitting here.
Okay.
I seen you guys right there. Like, literally, I seen you guys.
Okay.
If I had known how many times he's gonna say literally, I would have added a counter here.
I hope y'all was trying to help me. Like,
Well,
That's why we checked.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they caught a call of a guy who looks slouched over in a running vehicle. They don't know at this point that he's drunk. He could be having some sort of medical issue that they don't know of. So they're obviously going to respond to that.
On you because we were worried about you.
like-
We're actually
like,
here for something else,
seriously.
but let's make sure you're okay.
What's up, Juan?
Can I please,
Sir, you need to step out.
Look, these my cards.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Here, no, like, take all my cards.
No.
I just want to make
Put them on
sure
the seat.
my lady...
As an officer reached into the open window and attempted to unlock the driver's door, Keith immediately prevented him from doing so. As they heard the car engine revving, Keith put the vehicle in reverse and accelerated rapidly, using the open door as a means to strike the officers.
Oh shit!
Sir,
Don't touch me.
Don't.
Step out.
sir, I'm giving you my card.
Oh,
Don't
fuck.
leave.
Don't.
leave. Don't leave.
Don't.
Don't leave.
Sir,
Don't leave.
sir,
Don't
I'm
leave.
not leaving.
Don't leave.
Oh, shit.
Fuck!
Stop.
And he run.
Don't touch me.
Sir,
Step out.
Sir,
Shit!
Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave.
sir,
Don't leave.
sir,
Don't
I'm
leave.
not leaving.
Don't leave.
Oh, shit.
Stop.
Fuck!
Sir,
Don't
Sir.
touch me.
sir,
Open.
sir, I'm giving you my card.
Don't.
Don't leave.
Don't.
Don't leave. Don't leave. Sir, don't leave. Sir, I'm not leaving.
Oh shit! Accident. Subject took off. It's going to be going southbound on 6th.
Subject southbound.
Hey, Juggernaut. Shit. Oh no.
Start the car! Start the car!
Yeah.
Library, funky library.
What are you looking for? Spikes. He doesn't have them. Angel, nope. It's a Einstock, Icelandic white ale.
Any agency able to mutual aid for sticks is requested.
After about a 5-mile chase, all Oak Creek police squads terminated the pursuit. Keith had speeds well in excess of 100 miles per hour, and the road conditions were not optimal.
Probably for the best at that point.
Why is not Jericho coming up to 10th Street? Lane 2.
Gonna be getting on the freeway. Request TMC to monitor cameras in direction. Sheriff's assistance as well.
Yeah, the narrators mentioned that they supposedly put stops on the rear of the car, but they didn't put him in the front. So, yeah, I think that was a mistake.
85 miles per hour. Lowest traffic point up to DI.
A few hours later, Milwaukee Police Department officers had located the vehicle and that Keith was in an apartment near it. Eventually, he was found and taken into custody without incident. The officers involved in the initial traffic stop suffered minor injuries and returned to work after a few days. Keith was ultimately charged with operating after suspension, fleeing an officer, OWI, battery to an officer, and resisting.
That's about right.
Piss!
He was given a $2,000 signature bond and was ordered to maintain absolute sobriety as well as no driving without a valid license and insurance. Do you enjoy our content and want to see more? Join the Code Blue Cam Patreon.
Shout out to these guys for this video.
For early access to ad-free videos, exclusive content not published on YouTube, behind the scenes, and much more. By joining, it will help with the production, sustainability, and long-term viability of Code Blue Cam.
Again,
See
shout
the
out
link
to
in the
those guys.
description for more
Please
information. We are
check 'em
truly
out.
thankful
Sub.
for all your support.
I think the deacon, I think the officer just yelled piss as a swear. Piss! I haven't heard that in a long time. All right, fine. Since Juan gave me the okay just before going live, we'll go ahead and continue on. I don't know if you guys have checked out Juan Galt's latest, but you damn well better have before coming to watch it. Juan found yet another courtroom audio nonsense of a Mark Stevens adherent. So we'll get to take a listen to that before closing out tonight. So again, link in the description. And let's go. Real quick with the super chats. Gia 1999. Thank you for the super chat. Keys in ignition, DUI in California. Sounds about right. And sounds about right for most jurisdictions. And Akira 808 State 499 super chat. What was he thinking? You could try to outrun the cop, but you can't outrun the radio. Well, number one, alcohol, and number two, even if he was sober, most folks who try to run forget that police have radios and can communicate with each other. But at that moment, most folks aren't really thinking rationally, whether sober or not.
Well, this is a new one today. He's a Mark Stevens student, evidently. He sure loves his script. He sticks to the script.
Sure.
But this judge ain't playing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy.
How are you, sir? Well, other than being coerced and considering being forced to appear today against my will, I'm very well, sir.
Now, what defendant doesn't feel like they're being coerced to be into court? And guess what? They are.
Thank you. I'm just going to pull up your case. What would you like to do today, sir? Looks like What are you charged with? Well, sir, I would like to dismiss the case today. That's what I would like to do.
Of course you'd like to end the case today. Yeah.
Well, that's up to the law enforcement and the prosecution. And it looks like you've filed a motion for discovery. Do you know how to go about making a discovery appointment? Do I know how to go about making a discovery appointment?
Yeah, that's what the judge asked you. Can you come up with an answer? You're always wanting answers to your questions.
Do I need one, sir? Yes, because you get that from the district attorney's office, not from the court. Okay, well,
That's how discovery works.
So let me give you a number. Do you have a pen? Yes, sir. 303. Okay. 659 7720. 7720. Yes, sir. And you can call and make an appointment. And this is a what? Who am I calling? That's the district attorney's office, so you can make a discovery appointment to get your discovery that you've requested. Okay, and so you're going to grant that request, is that correct? Well, you have a right to discovery. You have a statutory right.
Oh, he has a statutory right to discovery, and he's requesting that statutory right. Huh. He has no problem with wanting statutory rights. I wonder if he's willing to accept statutory responsibilities that come with those.
Okay.
Juan, why must you ask rhetorical questions?
Your Honor, I would just supplement the record. When the defendant calls me to ask for the discovery department, they'll inform him on what he needs to bring over.
And I believe it's...
1 second, Abby.
You'll make an appointment so they can gather your information and they'll give that information to you, okay? Okay. But I don't want to come back to court. You don't want to come back to court? No, I want the case dismissed. I was under the impression that this would be an arraignment here today. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, well, can I swear myself in on the record? Can I do that? So I'm on the record? We're all on the record right now. So I'm on the record currently, is that correct? Yes. Okay, thank you. Well, my intention today, because I don't want to come back, is to actually plead guilty.
Here it is, the intention to plead guilty. Well, you can have the intention to eat a cheeseburger, but until you do, you haven't eaten a cheeseburger. You can...
I mean, I can intend to maintain sobriety tonight, but, you know, I can intend all I want.
Have the intention of pleading guilty, but until you do, you haven't entered a plea, and the judge wants you to enter a plea. And if you stall around and hem and haw, he'll just enter one for you because required. So
I actually brought a unsigned guilty plea here today, but I just have a few questions.
Oh, goody. The judge gets to see the old Mark Stevens unsigned plea of guilty, which is, of course, as my listeners know, is a bunch of bull.
Questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and proceedings, if that's okay with you. If your intention is to plead guilty, would you like to talk to a district attorney in order to see if there's a plea offer in the case?
See, this is the thing, is the judge has not heard any evidence or testimony, so he couldn't dismiss the case offhandedly. He's saying, right now, if you want the case dismissed, go talk to the DA. He's the one bringing the case, and maybe you can work out a deal. So that...
And he's right, because my understanding is that this is we're at the arraignment stage. No evidence has been entered into the record.
That's who you have to talk. But Mr. Softset Doof, not knowing legal procedure, doesn't realize.
No, sir, I don't want to take an offer. So you want to plead guilty to all of the charges? That's my intention, but I have a few questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings.
This is the standard, and if you've listened to BSBT, for instance, they all focus in on this nature and cause. That they think is their tricky stuff.
Okay, well, I can't give you legal advice. However, I would recommend that we pass this matter briefly so you can talk to the district attorney. They're the ones that are bringing charges against you, and you can talk to them regarding the charges and if there is an offer to plead to a lesser offense. Do you understand what I'm saying? Somewhat, Your Honor, but I have questions about the cause and nature, because
God damn it, Judge, let me get to my script.
Yeah. This guy, I will say, he never breaks character, or at least never deviates from the script, or just, you could tell he feels very, very uncomfortable anytime he has to deviate from the script.
I just want to plead guilty. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just have a few questions, if that's okay with you. Go ahead.
Okay, does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings?
Never.
Uh-oh,
Absolutely
Mr.
not.
Soft-Sit Doofus wants to know if he's granted privileges by the court. I wonder if he realizes the responsibilities that go with privileges. Most well-adjusted, mentally sound adults know the answer.
Oh, come on, Juan. You mean sheeple? Fucking lemmings? You know, beta, low info individuals? They're the ones who succumb to the man, Juan. If that is your real name.
I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
I'll repeat the question, sir.
No, I don't need you to repeat the question. The cause of the complaint is an alleged traffic violation. Right? That's the cause of it. The nature of it is under Colorado law.
Boom. Okay, Mr. Soft-Sit Doofus, you've just been given the nature and cause. What are you going to do with it?
Can you say that one more time, please?
The cause of it is an alleged traffic violation. And the nature of it is because of Title 42 in the Colorado Revised Statutes.
Okay, that wasn't my question. My question was, does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings today?
That's why I'm saying you should talk to a district attorney about it.
That still does not answer my question, sir. Does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the proceedings and the complaint here today?
You're charged with speeding 46 miles an hour and a 30.
Now, right here, the judge is going to give him full-blown information to meet the Sixth Amendment requirements of being informed of the nature and cause. The judge is going to give it all to him right here.
35-mile-an-hour zone, that is a 4-point violation. You are also charged with driving without a driver's license. That is a 3-point violation. The maximum penalty for driving without a driver's license is up to a $300 fine, up to 3 months in jail. And the speeding 11 over, that's up to a $200 fine. And I believe that's all you're charged with.
Okay, that's with all due respect, sir, as a simple yes or no question, does this court allow me the privilege of being informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings?
I just did.
What?
Whether or not you understand what I said, I just informed you of the cause and nature.
I understand you told me what the allegations were.
Okay, let's just go to the Sixth Amendment here. It says you have the right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusations or the allegations. So the judge totally met the requirements under the Sixth Amendment.
But my question was, am I allowed the privilege of being informed?
Yes, I just informed you.
Yes. Okay, so that's a yes.
See how a soft-sit just grabs the one word they've been dying to hear, yes, and ignores everything else?
Thank you. Does this court allow me the privilege of a fair and meaningful session here today?
Boy, Mr. Soft-Sit, you sure as hell want a lot of privileges. Are you willing to accept the responsibilities that go along with it?
Sir, we're not going to play games here. I've got other people that are waiting behind you.
I'm totally not playing games, sir. I've been here almost 2 hours, and I just want to leave. And
yeah, well, so does everybody else that's sitting in the gallery behind you. They want to get their shit done and leave too.
Yeah, imagine you're a member of the gallery, and you get to be a witness to one of these things. I mean, the last thing I need is a traffic violation. But if I have to have one, I would hope that it'd be worth it to listen in on a sovereign citizen when I have to show up in court.
But no, you've got to hold them up. You think they're happy with you? You think they think you're a hero? Not hardly.
my intention is to plead guilty and be done with this. I just have like 5 questions.
I'm going to pass this matter. You can talk to a district attorney, but I've got other people to deal with, okay? We're not gonna play games with this.
I'm not
You can
playing
talk-
games, sir.
You can talk to a district attorney and see if there's a plea offer, or if you want to just plead if you want to plead guilty to all of the offenses, then they can give you the form to fill out.
With all due respect, sir, how can I plead guilty if I am not informed of the causal nature of the complaint and the proceedings here today?
I'm passing the matter, sir. Next case, 16
Can I object for the record for that, please?
To what?
You're not allowing me to ask my questions.
So your questions are not relevant. I don't know
What about my question is not relevant, sir?
Oh my God.
You've been informed of the charge, and you can make a
I have
decision.
not been informed. Objection. What do you want me to say, sir?
Moving
You
on.
can have a seat there, and Mr. James will speak to you.
Okay, the judge is saying, hey, I'm not going to go any further right here. You go talk to the DA. You work it out with him because I have nothing to do with it right now.
Well, I appreciate that very much. We didn't harm anybody. There's no evidence of any injury. There's no corpus delicti.
Corpus delicti, drink.
Oh, there, corpus delicti popping its head up.
You filed a motion, it was denied. I really don't want to come back.
Need to plead guilty to having a
Negative. There's no evidence that these statutes apply to me.
Oh, there it is. That's the Mark Stevens hooker. There's no evidence that these
Statutes and codes
apply to me.
That's what's in my motion. I don't think we've read it.
I took a look at it. So the offer is, which is a 2-point violation. Maximum fine is $100.
And there's no points?
Violation.
Motion, I don't think we've read it.
I took a look at it. So the offer is, which is a 2-point violation. Maximum fine is $100.
So he's offering a 2-point violation with a maximum fine of $100. I can't recall what his original charges were and what the max, but that sounds like a decent deal. Because I think he was facing a potential max of like 7 points on his driving record.
And there's no points?
You can plead guilty to all the charges open to the court.
Okay.
That means that...
And that's everything he pretty much said?
Yep, everything he said. If you review on who decides what the penalty is, that would be a total of 7 points.
Right.
3 for the no operator's license, 4 for the speeding.
Okay.
And like you said, it'd be a fine of up to $500 and up to 90 days in jail.
So he's facing up to $500 and 90 days in jail. And he's offering him a 2-point violation and up to $100 in a fine.
And the penalty would be completely up to the judge.
Right. And the third option?
Yes.
Other option is you can plead not guilty.
Thank you.
Either choose...
Mr. Ross.
You don't like. You don't have a choice in having the case dismissed.
I don't have a choice?
He focuses in on the one word. I don't have a choice? I don't...
Yeah, no shit. You don't have to... No. You don't have the choice to arbitrarily dismiss your own case.
You have a choice? Hey, he gave you several choices.
Can you write that down? No choice. Choice. Complete this case, otherwise I will be charging Sergeant Meany with trespass. And trespass on the case. And I don't want to do that.
I don't know if you heard that, but he's threatening to, well, I'm going to bring a case for trespassing against my case, whatever.
Yeah, that's so now he's mixing and matching because talking about having a trespass on the case, that's a Carl Lentz thing, not Mark Stevens.
Whatever the hell that means.
I just want to go home and get done with this. I didn't harm anybody. There's no corpus delicti. There's no evidence of...
There's corpus delicti again.
Drink.
Statutes apply to me. I know you don't have any evidence. I know you didn't submit a valid cause of action. Please just dismiss the case. I'm begging you.
All right.
No.
Any other questions of me?
Okay.
No, sir.
Wait, did you just beg the prosecutor to dismiss the case? Did I hear that right? Hold on.
Go home and get done with this. I didn't harm anybody. There's no corpus delicti. There's no evidence that
There's corpus delicti again.
these statutes apply to me. I know you don't have any evidence. I know you didn't submit a valid cause of action. Please just dismiss the case. I'm begging you.
Yeah, he just begged the prosecutor to dismiss the case. Please just dismiss the case. I'm begging you.
All right.
No.
Any other questions of me?
Okay.
He's like, no.
Then you will have to provide me discovery.
So we'll get this case resolved, and it's just up to you to decide whether you want to plead not guilty and contest the charges, or plead guilty to something.
I'm not pleading. I'm innocent.
Or you have
I don't plea. I'm innocent.
I have to?
You
Why?
have to plead not guilty.
Susan,
Rules of criminal procedure.
and why does that apply to me?
Because you got pulled over.
I
got pulled over.
So those rules apply to me.
Yep.
All right. We'll recall Moses Akacheta, 16T11204. Am I saying your last name right, sir?
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Well, that's...
I think it's kind of interesting here when the judge asks him, now, how do you pronounce your last name? And the guy hem and haws around because he doesn't want to say his name on his clandestine recording, I have a feeling.
Your pronunciation can vary.
Okay, shut up. Okay. What would you like to do today?
As I said before, sir, my intention here is to plead guilty and
Back to the script.
be done with this matter. However, I just have a few questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings, so I can make an informed decision.
Mr. James, what are we doing here today?
Judge, I gave the defendant 3 options. I said he could plead guilty open to all the charges with a penalty up to the court. He could plead guilty to 1 count of having a defective vehicle with a fine only and 2 points on his license, or he could plead not guilty and choose to dispute the charges.
And in true soft-set performance, he wants an option that's unavailable.
He told me a couple times he doesn't choose any of those things. He chooses to have the case dismissed. I tried to explain to him that that wasn't an option, and I'm not going to agree to that today, and so the case is not getting dismissed unless the court is going to do that. That's where negotiations reached an impasse.
Okay.
It reached an impasse when he begged like a little bitch to dismiss the case outright, and I'm like, nah.
Well, the court does not have a Rule 11 for a guilty, so the court will
Sorry, that was
not
unprofessional of me.
Objection.
Oh yeah, everybody objects to being, found or at least not guilty at the beginning.
I did not enter a not guilty plea.
We'll set this for a...
Is my objection noted, Your Honor?
Get ready for some doozies here.
There's no response from the magistrate? Your Honor,
Sir, do
is
you
my
want to...
objection noted, sir?
We're on the record. You don't have to note anything.
Okay.
This isn't TV.
Well, I did not...
We're already on the record. We're not on TV, sir.
This
Got
isn't TV.
For the record, enter any plea today. My intention was to plead guilty. I just was asking a few questions so I can be informed.
Would you like a trial to a jury or to a judge?
More options. Let's see how the soft sit handles it.
Objection, sir. I have not entered a plea. I do not want to go to trial. My intention is to plead guilty here today. I just have a few questions.
I've answered your questions.
You have not answered all my questions, sir. You forced me to go to talk to the DA and negotiate a deal?
In the absence of a plea agreement.
I still have a question on the table, sir.
Well, no. See, the problem is in the absence of a plea agreement and with your refusal to enter a plea, by default, the judge will enter a plea of not guilty. I don't know why a lot of these Mark Steven adherents think that they could just freeze the court in its place by trying to ask these rhetorical questions. But that's not how that works. The judge is ultimately going to say the defendant refuses to enter a plea, so we're going to enter a plea of not guilty, and we're moving forward. Have a nice day. Moving on. Next. I don't know why they think that they could trip up the judge at this stage of the game, or they think that they can.
Sorry for interrupting. Okay.
Is it a repeat of a question that you asked me before?
Well, I have several questions, sir.
Is it along the same vein as the questions you've asked me before?
I don't know. That's up for interpretation.
Would you like a trial to the jury or a trial to the court?
I would not like a trial, Your Honor. I would like to plead guilty here today if I can ask a few questions and be informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings.
They just will not get off the script.
Nope.
Mark Stevens says, stay with the script. Ethics Instead, our oratorical prowess said.
I know exactly who Ethics Instead and oratorical prowess is too. They are I think they're one and the same person, but if not, they are both clear adherents to Mark Stevens.
Stay with the script.
Sir, you have the right to plead guilty to the charges. If you'd like to do that, Mr. James will give you a form to fill out.
Would you accept a plea of guilty if I'm not informed?
No.
Well, the court will go through a colloquy.
A colloquy? Excuse me, sir, I do not understand that word.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
The court will have a conversation with you about whether you understand
the court will ask you questions to ensure that your plea of guilty is a knowing and voluntary one, because by pleading guilty, you are waiving virtually all of your constitutional rights. Right. Trial, counsel, remain silent, the whole shebang. That's all it is. It's everything. So, of course, the judge has a duty to ensure that the defendant understands what he's doing by pleading guilty.
Charge that you're pleading guilty to. And if you do not, then the court will not accept your guilty plea. Does that make sense?
I'm not 100%, no, it does not.
Nothing makes sense to these idiots.
Because
you cannot plead guilty. The court will not accept a plea to something you do not understand. And you,
Joe Pierce, gotcha.
Are giving the impression that you do not understand. That's why the other option is to plead not guilty.
See, there you go. The judge got him in a corner there saying, well, you seem like you don't want to plead guilty, so the only other thing to do is to try the case.
Well, how can I understand the cause and nature if you haven't let me ask my questions?
That is something that you ask of the district attorney when you enter your plea, not of the court. I will have a conversation with you if you want to plead guilty. Otherwise, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea and set this case over. Okay?
Objection, I do not want to enter a not guilty plea.
Oh my fucking god. To answer the question, Artie, does he give him a right to appeal with a guilty plea as well? Yesn't. And the reason I say that is because I think his only avenue would be his only avenue of appeal is whether or not he could challenge that it was a knowing and voluntary plea of guilty. I think he kind of screws himself on appeal too, with the exception that he can challenge whether or not the plea agreement, that the plea of guilty was knowing and voluntary.
I would like to plead guilty here today. I just have a few questions.
Then plead guilty.
Did you hear that? He's going to say it a couple of times. Judge said, well, then plead guilty, if that's your intention.
Well, I need to understand
Then
the
plead
cause.
guilty. Do you understand me?
Well,
I don't know where you Googled this and what you're trying to do, but we're not playing games here.
I'm not playing
All these people are being paid, and you're wasting their time.
Well, they're being paid, so it doesn't sound like a waste. I'm the only one who's not being paid right now. I'm trying
You're
to
wasting
defend
your
myself.
time. Isn't that enough?
No.
Yeah, you're wasting your own time. And honestly, just because some folks like the clerk or the prosecutor is getting paid, sometimes they have better things to do with them with their time than listen to this jackass waste everybody else's time. Just because they're getting paid doesn't mean that their time isn't being wasted. Jeez.
I'm trying to defend myself, sir. Am I allowed to defend myself here today?
That gives me the impression that you'd like to plead not guilty and defend yourself. Is that what you'd like to do?
No, I would like to plead guilty.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? He says he wants to defend himself here. And he wants to defend himself by pleading guilty. Oh, my God. You can't make this shit up.
Guilty. I'm going to give you 1 minute.
You're going to give me 1
I'm
minute?
going to give you 1 minute to talk to Mr.
Is that a rule of the court to give me 1 minute?
You can talk to Mr. James and enter a plea agreement. Otherwise, I'm entering a plea agreement.
Objection.
You have 1 minute from now. You can watch the clock if you'd like.
You're going to...
The judge told me I'm supposed to ask you questions?
Yes, you can ask me.
You're the prosecutor.
Okay, he's back talking to the DA. You'll be able to hear it if you listen closely.
In the afternoons and at night?
There's no reason for me to do that.
There's no reason. Yep. Okay, well,
Yes.
there's no reason for me to, like, be here today because I'm being threatened.
Did you ever have a license, sir?
How are we threatening?
Because you said if I don't come here today, you will harm me. That's what I was
In the
told.
process of getting my residency.
How?
Okay.
I was told that by the dude who gave me this ticket.
I'm just going to do the minimum of
If
30
I didn't
days.
show
No
up
lie to do
today,
that.
I would be harmed. I
won't do
don't.
it.
Yes, you're right. He's right. If you don't show up to court, you may get a failure to appear warrant, and you'll be arrested and taken in front of the judge. That's not a threat. That's a promise.
Here he's talking about how he's been threatened so much that if he doesn't come to court, they're going to come get him with a warrant, and he thinks that's he being treated violently.
I didn't harm anybody. There's no corpus.
Because when I look at your driver's record,
There's no
it looks like you
There's no valid.
never had a
cause of
license.
action.
So you don't want to plead guilty?
Well, my intention is to plead guilty.
Please come forward and see
I
my
need
card,
to ask
okay?
some questions to the court, and you're not the court.
You're not going to be able to ask those questions to the judge.
You can lie to me. I know that. So that's I'm just telling you what's up. No, it's a man.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if you want to ask those questions, then you're going to have to plead not guilty.
Well, that's your word.
Well, that's your way. No, that's the way. Welcome to the American justice system. It's not perfect, but that's how it's gonna work.
I don't need to talk to you.
That's true. That's what the judge is saying, is you can't ask those questions either.
Well, technically he's a magistrate, not a judge.
That's accurate. And if you did want to not ask the questions.
Well, let me ask you this.
Or you have to plead not guilty and choose to
Have you read my discovery paper that I submitted to you?
I looked at it, yeah.
Okay, and you're going to be able to provide me with all that information, right?
No, I don't remember what's on it.
So how are you going to? So you're telling me you're going to be able to provide me with it?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But what I'm saying.
No, and if you didn't hear that, he, the defendant, asked the prosecutor, "Did you get my, like, list of discovery questions or something like that, or something involving his discovery?" And he's like, no, I'm not going to be responding to that. My guess, I'm not going to be responding to that or responding it in that way. My guess is that he probably like went and asked the prosecutor, can you provide me proof of jurisdiction or some sort of generic verbose bullshit like that that is typical with Mark Stevens and typical sovereign citizens thing. Like, can you provide me evidence that the codes and statutes apply to me? That type of thing.
That will provide you discovery in the case, which is all the evidence that we have as far as reports go, and any photos or video or anything like that.
And that's going to prove that those laws apply to me?
He's still hung up on, oh, so all this evidence, discovery evidence I'm going to get is going to prove that the laws apply to me. And, of course, we know what that means in reality.
Like I said, that's not something
And that's for you, that's for the court to decide, not for...
that is the court to decide, you're right. The court does decide.
Or a jury. Gave you a jury option.
You can take this case to a jury too. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility if you plead not guilty.
Well, I'm not making a plea because I'm innocent.
Well, that's if you say you're innocent and you want to assert your innocence, you do that by pleading not guilty. That's how it works in this system.
Well, what evidence is that how it works?
That's this court has jurisdiction over the whole of Adams County, and accordingly,
How are they to prove that I'm in Adams County?
I'm going to ask the officer if you were in Adams County when he met you and testify.
Well, Adams County is a legal person, not my name is.
So, that's a point of law that you can argue to the judge, and the judge will make a finding on that.
Well, how does this court assuming jurisdiction right now?
Oh, God, here we go through the jurisdiction lesson.
Drink.
This court has general jurisdiction.
Hey, Wazoo.
Colorado revised statutes in Colorado.
Right, but why do those statutes apply to me?
That is accepted that they do.
It's accepted? Is there any evidence of that?
It's,
so you could tell, I mean, obviously you could tell that the DA may have not experienced a sovereign citizen like this before. But, again, these are typical line by line things that I apologize for pausing, but I have to tell a brief side story that a couple of days ago, I think over the weekend, I was on Jaheretic's live stream. If you guys know who Jaheretic is, he's one of the OGs that I covered a long time ago. I thought we were cool. I thought that we were able to actually have a conversation with each other, despite us like obviously disagreeing ideology. Like root words. Root words, I can have a conversation with the guy, even though I think he's batshit crazy in his beliefs. But he was having a live stream. He's had a live stream a couple days ago. I said, hey, what's going on, man? And he just went off on me. Like, raging on me the whole time. Like, he was pissed. Like, he was mad, man. And I'm like, I didn't even say anything that untoward towards him. And it was disappointing. It's sad, but it is what it is. But Jaheretic also borrowed Mark Stevens' script. And a lot of, going back to the original point, a lot of these guys go for the jurisdiction thing. And they trip up a lot of DAs and judges who haven't heard this shit before, because as Juan Galt has said over and over again, these guys want to engage in a political philosophy argument and not a legal one in the middle of a court hearing. It's like, basically they're asking the judge to explain the nature of law and society and how we as human beings govern each other and govern our behavior. And that's not what you do in a court hearing. The court system is laid out right? It's not going to change just because you're trying to question it in the middle of a hearing.
It's provided by the United States Constitution, I guess, if you want to go all the way.
And of course, as we all know, evidence of jurisdiction is the fact that you're fucking there.
Yeah. And also, yeah, you're physically present. There's the jurisdiction. Well, can I be in the plaintiff? Yes. Yes. I don't care if you think it's like an ephemeral, non-corporeal entity. The humans surrounding you recognizes it as a thing to be enforced. Yes, you're right. The Constitution is literally nothing but words on paper, but humans in this country assign meaning to that and act on that meaning, whether you like it or not. So, tough shit.
Why does the United States Constitution apply to me? Is there any evidence of that?
Well, because you're president of the United States.
Is there any evidence that my presence within the United States subjugates me to your Colorado revised statute?
Bingo. Bingo. Any country on planet Earth, when you're within the boundaries and their borders, their laws will apply to you, and they'll make damn sure they do.
I wouldn't use the word subjugate, but I guess the bottom line is you're here, so the laws apply to you.
So I'm here because Sergeant Meany told me that he would harm me if I didn't show up.
So like I say, I mean, the bottom line is you can choose to dispute the charges, and if you want to make legal arguments to a judge and factual arguments to a jury, you can plead not guilty.
I'm not making a plea.
The chance to do that. If you don't want to do that, you can leave here. We'll issue a warrant, and we'll pick you up on the warrant later.
That's a threat. Are you threatening me?
Nope. Or
you said we.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
Every time a soft-sit has something explained to them, they immediately go to, "Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me?
You're gonna pick me up on a warrant?
I'm not going to.
You said we. Who's we?
You're a law enforcement agency. Or you can plead guilty to either that offer that I made.
So you're threatening me?
God, that's a classic reference if you guys get that.
Law enforcement officials to come pick me up?
Nope.
And I'm innocent?
I don't think you are, no.
I know.
Thank you for cracking me up for getting it.
Assumes me innocent. And you're telling me you're going to come and arrest me, an innocent man?
So do you want to make one of those guilty pleas? Do you want to plead not guilty?
I would like to plead guilty, but I have some questions for the court.
You can't ask the questions.
Why not?
Because the court's not allowing you to.
Why is the court not allowing me to?
He has the discretion to not allow those questions in this kind of proceeding.
So the judge is not allowing me to ask relevant questions in order to inform me?
The court is going to Sir, have you made a decision what you would like to do today?
As I've said before, my intention is to plead guilty if I could just be informed of the cause and nature of the complaint and the proceedings.
Oh my God! See, he's still on that script. He's been brainwashed so much thinking that script is like magic, like it's a silver bullet, get out of jail free.
Okay, write this court date down. February 1st.
Judge ain't playing. Here's your trial date, mister.
Damn, Chris, that's
9
classic.
Objection. I don't want another court date.
In Division 3.
I don't want another court date. Objection. I would like to plead guilty.
No.
I just have a few questions about the cause and nature of the complaint and proceedings.
I've given you an opportunity, Mr.
I'm giving you an opportunity to ask my questions.
Your next court date is February 1st at 9 a.m. in Division 3.
And if I do not show up, sir?
A warrant will be issued for your arrest.
Okay, I'm going to consider that a threat.
Okay.
And I will be here under threat and duress.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you guys for watching with me. Again, shout out to Juan Galt and Blue Co-Blue Cam for the videos. So those were pretty entertaining, I thought. So the last super chat I missed is Joan Sally, $2. Good afternoon, Artie. How was your day? It was long, but I got through it. I'm hoping to be able to breathe a little bit after tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit more a little bit more hectic. Unfortunately, Omega shows the Jeheretic rant. Unfortunately, I can't, because Jeheretic, when I joined in on the live stream, Jeheretic called me a number of F-bombs that will not be YouTube friendly, so it's probably not the best thing to showcase that, but you can go watch it. It was like from a couple days ago. Yeah.
And there was much rejoicing.
Like I said, he was not too keen on civil discussion there.
Much rejoicing.
How long, in your opinion, do you think they? Deacon asks, how long, in your opinion, do you think they will be able to keep this up until they end up on a list? Sadly, I don't know if they can really be on a list. And shout out to all of you who have re-upped your memberships. That's what the alerts are for. Thank you very much to all of you for keeping up your support. I don't think they'll end up in a list. The unfortunate reality is, unless they, file constant, do constant filings, like Kim Blandino, for example, they could be identified as a vexatious litigant. But if they just try this script over and over again, unless the judge knows who they are, they're probably not going to be on any sort of list per se. Unless, again, they constantly file more and more file more paperwork that gets noticed. And Kick, thank you for joining the membership. Much appreciated, sir. And no, that does not make me love you. So, thank you guys. Am I gonna do Blandino Part 5? I mean, I kind of already didn't I? When I kind of showcased the end of the trial. I mean, I could consider that Part 5. But I mean, if you're asking me, am I going to highlight the sentencing that's in early June or July? Then of course, I'm definitely going to be showcasing that. So. Thank you guys again for watching. Please hit the like button on your way out. It really helps the channel. Again, shout out to Code Blue Cam and Juan Galt. Please check them out. If Jeheretic had privated everything, that sucks. But yeah, it was an experience.
There was much rejoicing.
So, hey, Tones, thank you for being a member, man. Much appreciated. And joining the membership. But thanks, guys. I hope to see you again. If I don't, you'll see me on my gaming channel. I'm still trying to get through Elden Ring. I mean, if it freaking plays and doesn't crash on me, that is. But all the best to y'all, and have a great rest of your evening. Adios. Take care.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a chew